Hey guys, nice to see you again here. It's been a long day, definitely back and forth, in between a couple different offices today. There's a lot of collaboration, with the team. I'm happy to show you some of the inner workings of how our software engineering team usually connects on a day-to-day basis. You'll see me talking with our senior engineer and then the rest of our engineering team. Normally what we'll do is we'll be very hands-on. We collaborate together. Very often we're gonna be like this in just little groups of 2 or 3 people. We rarely ever work just on ourselves, especially at the beginning or in the middle of the process. And so today we were basically just brainstorming on what's the proper way to tackle one of our latest projects, that being our reporting engine that we're working on. As you know, White Shark has been in the business for around a decade now, so we feel like it's time. We've tried a couple of different reporting tools so far, and every little one of them has great things, but they also have some downfalls, and we feel very confident that with everything that we've learned so far, we can take our reporting to the next level, and we want to be able to create that from scratch. So you'll be hearing a lot more about it. Don't worry, there's going to be plenty of talks on that feature. But today there was a lot of brainstorming on that, and we were very hands-on. Right now is when we're doing the majority of the heavy lifting, all of the creation, all of the back end, not a lot of creative things happening in the visual part of it, but in the actual let's say back-end structure of it, to make sure that it's really efficient, that it's fast, that it's accurate, that it makes sense, that it's very intuitive to use, and very powerful at the end of the day as well. So really cool things happening. Si miramos, digamos acá, estábamos hablando temprano, para las cuentas, por ejemplo, el maje tiene el campo que se llama, digamos acá un ID, y tiene campaign name. Asumamos que acá un ID no estuviera en la colección de campañas, que yo sé que sí está, pero asumí que no estuviera. Lo tenés que ir a buscar. O sea, Fernando va a tener que hacer aquí, digamos, un select, account ID, from accounts. Hasta aquí estamos bien, porque el scope está bien.
¿Vos decís cómo puedo representar de que en un scope, que un field que está en un scope hace referencia a otro scope, digamos?
A otra colección. We first started working with our senior engineer and then one of our other software developers as well. And what we were discussing is just basically data structure. There's a lot of heavy lifting happening on that front because we want our reporting tool to be just as fast as possible and as efficient as possible on the back end. So we were discussing essentially how to marry different data sources like Google, Microsoft, and Facebook into one combined data set. And so there has to be some equivalences that we have to draw on the back end. And that's kind of what we were discussing and just kind of brainstorming back and forth about. Now that I remember, guys, I don't think I've shown you how our team is actually working and describe kind of the different functional areas that we have. We have 4 functional areas. We have our information technology team, we have our business information team, we have our software engineering team, and we also have our web and tracking team. Today, you saw a lot of interaction with the software engineering team, who are in charge of actually developing and coding all of the solutions that we have, such as Compass and some additional in-house tools that we use, of course. We have our information technology team, which is in charge of networking, computer maintenance, security, and everything along those lines. We also have a business information team, which is in charge of our internal systems, data, how we report internally, and decision making. And we also have our web and tracking team, who are in charge of tracking cases for customers, tracking installation, websites, landing pages, and everything else. So again, where you're going to see a lot more of the hands-on work is going to be with the Compass related team, which is their software engineering team. And that's comprised of developers, designers, and also UI engineers. So that's kind of a brief overview of what we have on the team. I think we have about 15 or 16 different members on the team at the moment. And yeah, that's kind of pretty much the gist of it. Hola, hola.
¿Ah?
¿Qué más enseñar?
Mira, entonces ya está todo, creo yo.
Yo te creo.
Entonces ya puse los drafts, ya están estos, hice la pantalla pues de Top Opportunities, All Opportunities. De ahí ya conecté todo, Esto lo cambié. Aquí está lo de New
Está cool.
Opportunity.
Está cool.
Lo puse en verde porque no se me ocurrió nada más.
Ok.
Aquí está la flechita.
Como de enable, como de enable.
Ajá, exacto.
Ok,
exacto,
ok.
De enable, exacto. Listo.
I get it, I got you.
Entonces aquí está New Opportunity, aquí está que está editándose, Suggested Campaign.
¿Qué más cambiaste?
Nada más, aquí no habíamos dicho que cambiamos
Ok,
nada.
ok. Enséñame la pantalla de All Opportunities.
All Opportunities.
Ok, entonces estoy aquí, estoy en Top Opportunities.
Obviamente esto no lo he cambiado, pues.
Algún iconito de proposals que no existe. Pero cualquiera que se te ocurra está bien. Un iconito de Campaign Build. Un iconito de Dismiss. Y un iconito de Question. Why should I care? Can I dismiss it? Crear y hablar.
Básicamente las opciones, pero en iconos.
Sí. Y pueden ser un color más soft los botones para que no sé.
Later on today, I also went over to the product innovation team, and with them, it's a completely different workflow. This time I was talking to one of our product designers, and our workflow with him is just very different. It's very visual, it's prototyping, it's basically just brainstorming how different screens are gonna connect to one another, thinking of what's the best possible user experience that we can develop. And so with him, we were talking about one of the upcoming features to Compass as well, which is our upsell engine. We're extremely excited about that. I'm gonna keep some of those things under the routes for now, but we were essentially just kind of brainstorming on how to draw out the entire prototype so that we can present it to our sales and marketing team, see if they love it. And that's usually how the process is gonna go about. We're just going to basically brainstorm, bring it into an actual prototype, present it to sales and marketing, get some user feedback, and then eventually that screen gets approved and it gets sent over to development. So those are just some of the things that we're gonna do on a day-to-day basis. And we often collaborate with a couple of different other functional areas within the business to ultimately come about with the products that we deliver. All right, guys, so it's been great showing you guys some of the inner workings in our day-to-day basis in our technology team. As I mentioned, we are trying to keep some things under the wraps right now, but you're gonna learn a lot more about our reporting engine, our upsell engine, and everything else that's coming to Compass very, very soon. But right now, I have to head out to the meeting. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching.